Hey Sojourning Scholars, it's Chuki here from sojourningscholar.com, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to get the ITIN number as an international student. Now, as an international student on an F, J, M or Q visa, you are eligible to obtain the individual tax identification number, also called an ITIN. Now, quite similar to the social security number, the ITIN is used for tax related purposes. But before we get into how to get the ITIN number, a very common question you might have is, as an international student, should I apply for the ITIN number or should I apply for the social security number? And so in this video, I'm going to make it a point to provide some clear differences between these two types of tax related documents. So the first difference between the ITIN number and the social security number is in the application process as an international student. Now, we've already discussed the topic of applying for a social security number as an international student in the US. I'm going to leave a link in the description section below where you can find that video. In the case of the social security number, you need to first obtain an authorized permission to work before you can consider applying for the social security number. And as an international student, this form of employment could come in the form of an on-campus employment or CPT and OPT for F1 students, or it could also come in the form of academic training for J1 students. Whereas in the case of applying for the ITIN number, you do not need to have any authorized employment beforehand. However, if you meet this eligibility requirements to apply for the social security number as an international student, then you must apply for the social security number and not consider applying for the ITIN. Now, the second key difference between the ITIN number and the social security number is that the ITIN number does expire after a period of time, while the social security number never expires. A third difference between the ITIN number and the social security number is that the ITIN is only used for federal tax related purposes, while the social security number could be used for federal and state tax related purposes. And one more thing to note about the ITIN number is that if you have an ITIN number and in the future you obtain a social security number, you can no longer use that ITIN number for any tax related purposes, and you must use your social security number. The first common reason why international students apply for the ITIN number is to pay taxes on scholarships, fellowships, or grants that are obtained from US sources. And the second common reason why international students might want to obtain an ITIN number is to claim a tax treaty benefit such as a tax deduction or tax credit based on a tax treaty their home country has with the United States. At the time of making this video, there are 66 countries that have a tax treaty agreement with the United States. I would leave a link in the description section below where you can find out if your home country has an existing tax treaty agreement with the United States. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about some steps you can follow to apply for the ITIN as an international student in the US. The first step would be to visit the IRS website at irs.gov/W7, or you can do a quick Google search for the W7, which is called the application for IRS ITIN. Now, on this website, you will find an instruction guide that you will need when completing the Form W7. After completing your Form W7, you will need to submit original documents to prove your foreign status and your identity. And as an international student, this can be best done by providing your passport or a passport containing your US visa. Now, you should also keep in mind that these original documents need to match the information you provided on your Form W7 application. Now, depending on the reason for which you're applying for the Form W7, as you indicated on page 1 of the Form W7, you might need to provide your federal tax return when submitting your W7 application. You will then mail your W7 along with your original supporting documents to the IRS. These original documents that you're submitting to the IRS will be returned to the mailing address you provided on your Form W7 within a 9-week period from when your application was received by the IRS. Now, if you're going to need your original documents for any reason during the processing of your ITIN, then it's best to consider applying for your ITIN at an IRS certified acceptance agency location. I'm going to leave a link in the description section below where you can find one of these agency offices closest to you. Now, once the IRS has received and processed your W7 application, you can expect to receive your ITIN number in the mail within a 9-week period from when your application was received by the IRS. Now, most international students apply for the ITIN number for the first time when they are filing their first federal tax return. In the alternative that you don't want to apply for your ITIN number by yourself, you could consider using the services of SprintTax to simultaneously apply for your ITIN number and file your US federal taxes. I will leave a link in the description section below where you can get started using the services of SprintTax to apply for your ITIN number and file your federal and state taxes. And for full disclosure, we are an affiliate for SpringTax, but we only recommend the services of SpringTax because they are the leaders when it comes to taxation for non-resident aliens such as international students and working professionals. Now, in the case that you're ineligible to apply for the ITIN because you meet the eligibility requirements for the Social Security number, you can watch this video shown on the end screen and also linked in the description section below that walks you through the process of applying for your Social Security number as an international student. Thanks for watching this video. Like and share if you got some value out of it, and as always, be unbounded.